When a woman who once cared about you starts ignoring you, it can feel like your whole chest tightens around one question. What changed? Yesterday she was warm, she replied fast, she asked about your day, she made you feel like you mattered. Then slowly, something shifted. The replies became shorter, the energy felt colder, the excitement disappeared. She stopped reaching first. She saw your message and did not answer. And now you are sitting there staring at your phone, wondering if silence means she stopped caring completely. But listen carefully, because this is where most men lose their power. When a woman ignores you, your first instinct is usually to chase. You want to ask what happened. You want to send one more message. You want to explain yourself. You want to remind her how good things were. You want to force clarity because uncertainty feels unbearable. But the moment you chase her silence, you stop leading yourself. And in a few minutes, you are going to understand the deeper truth behind why a woman who still has feelings may sometimes pull away, go quiet, or ignore you. But you are also going to understand something even more important. Her silence is not always love. Sometimes it is fear. Sometimes it is confusion. Sometimes it is immaturity. Sometimes it is low interest. Sometimes it is a test of your frame. And sometimes it is the clearest sign that you need to step back. Before this is over, you will know how to respond without begging, without overthinking, without becoming bitter, and without losing your self respect, because the goal is not to make her talk. The goal is to become a man who does not fall apart when she does not. That is the difference. Most men hear silence and immediately panic. They think if she loved me, she would never ignore me. And sometimes that is true. A healthy woman who respects you will not keep punishing you with silence, confusing you for days, or making you beg for basic communication. Real love does not enjoy making you suffer. But there is another side. Sometimes when a woman has real feelings, she pulls back because those feelings make her uncomfortable. She may be afraid of how much she cares. She may feel vulnerable. She may be testing whether your confidence is real. She may be trying to see if you will chase, collapse, or become needy the moment she creates distance. She may not even understand what she is doing. But your job is not to diagnose every emotion inside her. Your job is to control the man inside you, because whether she is ignoring you because she cares, because she is confused, or because she is losing interest, the correct first response is the same. Stay calm, do not chase, do not panic, do not reward distance with desperation. That is where your power begins. If she ignores you and you immediately double text, you teach her that silence increases your effort. If she goes cold and you become emotional, you teach her that her distance controls your nervous system. If she gives less and you give more, you teach her that your standards disappear when you are afraid. Do not teach that lesson. A man with self respect does not become cruel when a woman ignores him. He does not insult her. He does not try to hurt her. He does not play childish games. But he also does not beg for warmth from someone acting cold. He steps back, he gives space, he watches behavior. That is not weakness, that is control. And control is what separates a grounded man from a desperate one. When she ignores you, your mind will create 100 stories. Maybe she is busy, maybe she is testing you, maybe she is talking to someone else, maybe she is losing interest, maybe she is afraid of her feelings, maybe she wants you to chase, maybe she forgot you, maybe she never cared. Those stories will drain you if you let them. So do not react to the story, don't react to the pattern. One delayed reply is not always disrespect. One quiet day is not always rejection. People get tired, people get overwhelmed, people need space. But repeated ignoring, repeated coldness, repeated confusion, repeated low effort, and repeated silence after you have been respectful is information. And a man must respect information, not fantasy, not potential, not the version of her from the beginning information, because the beginning can trick you. In the beginning, she may have been sweet. In the beginning, she may have replied fast. In the beginning, she may have made you feel like you were the only man in the world. In the beginning, she may have shown warmth that felt real. But the beginning is not the whole truth. The truth is also how she handles distance, conflict, emotion, and communication when things become uncertain. Do not chase the beginning through the current behavior. That sentence matters. Do not chase the beginning through the current behavior. A weak man gets ignored and starts trying to bring back the old version of her. He says she used to care. Maybe she did. He says she used to be different. Maybe she was. He says, I know the real her. Maybe you know one side of her. But what is she showing you now? A grounded man does not live only in memory. He watches what is in front of him, and what is in front of him tells him how to move. If she needs space, he gives space. If she is confused, he does not become more confused. If she is cold, he does not become desperate for warmth. If she ignores, he does not keep knocking until his dignity is bruised. He steps back with calm self respect. Now understand this. Stepping back is not the same as playing games. A lot of men turn silence into manipulation. They think, I will ignore her back so she panics. They think, I will make her suffer. They think, I will post something to make her jealous. That is not strength. That is wounded ego trying to look masculine. Real strength is cleaner than that. Real strength says, I am not stepping back to hurt you. I am stepping back because I will not chase confusion. That is different. Fake silence is still obsessed with her reaction. Real silence protects your peace. Fake silence counts hours. Real silence builds discipline. Fake silence waits for her to break. Real silence breaks your old pattern. That is the shift. Because the old pattern is simple. She goes quiet, you chase. She gives less, you give more. She becomes cold, you become anxious. She ignores you, you start explaining. She creates distance, you start auditioning for her attention. That pattern kills respect, not because caring is wrong. Caring is not the problem. The problem is caring without self control. The problem is making her response the foundation of your confidence. The problem is needing her to reply so you can feel like a man again. That is not love, that is dependence. And emotional dependence makes you accept things you should not accept. It makes you accept dry replies as long as she replies. It makes you accept confusion as long as there is hope. It makes you accept being ignored as long as you think maybe she still cares. It makes you call crumbs potential because you are starving for certainty. A man with self respect does not accept crumbs just because he is hungry. He learns to feed his own life. That is the key. If she ignores you, the strongest move is not to send another message. The strongest move is to come back to yourself, your body, your work, your routine, your sleep, your faith, your discipline, your money, your future, your standards. Because when a woman goes quiet, the weak man makes her silence the center of his life. He wakes up and checks. He works and checks. He trains and checks. He eats and checks. He sleeps with the phone close to him. His whole day becomes built around whether she decides to give him attention. That is dangerous. A man without structure will make her his structure. You need a life bigger than her silence. You need a routine stronger than her distance. You need discipline deeper than your urge to chase. Because if you do not have a strong life, you will try to use her attention as life support. And that makes you weak. Now, let us talk about the late night moment because every man who has been ignored knows this feeling. It is late. The room is quiet. Your phone is beside you. You sent her a message hours ago. She has not replied. Maybe she was online. Maybe she posted something. Maybe she viewed your story but said nothing. And suddenly your chest tightens. Your mind starts building a movie. Maybe she is with someone else. Maybe she is ignoring me on purpose. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe if I do not say something now, she will be gone forever. So you type, "Are you okay?" Then you delete it. "Did I do something wrong?" Then you delete it. "I feel like your energy changed." Then you delete it. And then maybe you send something that sounds calm. "I hope you're okay." But be honest with yourself. You are not only hoping she is okay, you are hoping she replies. That message is not peace. It is a hook. And if she does not take the hook, you will feel worse. A strong man tells himself the truth before he acts. He does not hide desperation under polite words. He does not call panic love. He does not call anxiety communication. He does not call checking her profile curiosity. He says, "I want to message her because I want relief." Then he chooses discipline. He writes what he feels in his notes and does not send it. He puts the phone down. He walks. He trains. He prays if faith is part of his life. He sleeps. He lets the urge rise and fall without obeying it. That is how emotional control is built. Not by pretending you do not feel, by feeling everything and still choosing your values. Because if you cannot control yourself when she ignores you, you will become easy to control whenever she changes her energy. That is not masculine power, that is emotional dependence. A man must learn to pause between emotion and action. That pause is where self respect lives. When the fear rises, pause. When the jealousy rises, pause. When the urge to check rises, pause. When the urge to send one more message rises, pause. Do not let one emotional wave decide who you become. Now, some men will hear this and say, so should I never communicate? No, that is not the lesson. A mature man can communicate, but he communicates once with clarity, not 10 times from fear. If you are in a serious connection and her ignoring becomes a real pattern, you can speak calmly. You can say, I notice the communication has changed. I am not here to pressure you. If you need space, I respect that. But I am not going to chase confusion. That is mature. Then you step back. You do not keep repeating it. You do not turn it into a weekly speech. You do not beg for reassurance. You do not ask, are we okay, every time her tone changes. Say it once, then watch behavior, because words can be soft and behavior can still be cold. A strong man watches behavior. If she respects you, she will respond with clarity. If she needs space, she will communicate with maturity. If she is unsure, her actions will show it. If she wants to keep you confused while keeping your attention, her pattern will reveal that too. But you must be calm enough to see it. A needy man cannot see clearly because he is too busy trying to keep access. He ignores red flags because he wants the old warmth back. He excuses disrespect because he remembers the beginning. He keeps chasing someone who is showing him less because he is addicted to the version of her that once showed more. Do not become addicted to someone's old energy. That is a trap. Love should not require you to beg for basic communication. A woman who truly cares may need space, but she will not want to destroy your peace. A woman who truly cares may get overwhelmed, but she will not enjoy watching you suffer. A woman who truly cares may pull back for a moment, but healthy love eventually moves toward clarity, not endless confusion. So do not romanticize being ignored. That is important. The title says, if she truly loves you, she will ignore you. But the deeper truth is this. Sometimes a woman with feelings may pull back because she is scared, overwhelmed, or testing the strength of the connection. But real love cannot live forever inside silence, confusion, and emotional punishment. If she truly cares, her distance will not be an excuse for disrespect. If she truly cares, she will eventually meet you with maturity. If she truly cares, she will not require you to beg for basic respect. If she truly cares, your calm distance will reveal that. And if she does not, your calm distance will reveal that too. Either way, you win when you stop chasing because chasing does not create healthy love. Chasing creates imbalance. And imbalance destroys attraction. When she ignores you, give space and watch. That is the move, not because you are trying to make her panic, not because you are trying to teach her a lesson. Because space reveals truth. If she values you, space will show it. If she is confused, space will show it. If she only wanted attention, space will show it. If she is done, space will show it. If she comes back with respect, you will know by consistency. If she comes back with confusion, you will know by the pattern. You do not need to force the answer. You need to be strong enough to let the answer show itself. That is difficult because men want control. They want to know now. They want certainty now. They want reassurance now. They want to end the anxiety now. But anxiety is not a reason to chase. A grounded man does not rush because fear is loud. He moves when truth is clear. That is how he protects his peace. And peace is the prize, not her reply, not her attention, not her return. Peace. Because a man without peace becomes easy to pull in any direction. One text lifts him up, one silence destroys him, one story makes him jealous, one cold reply makes him question his worth, one small sign makes him hopeful, one delay makes him spiral. That is not freedom, that is emotional slavery. A free man can care without being controlled. A free man can miss her without chasing. A free man can notice her silence without losing his frame. A free man can listen if she returns, but he does not hand her full access without clarity. That is what you are building. Now, for the next 7 days, this is your reset. Do not message her first from panic. Do not check her stories. Do not ask mutual friends about her. Do not post to get her attention. Do not make emotional decisions at night. Do not reread old messages until your chest hurts. Do not send just checking on you when what you really want is reassurance. Put that energy into training, work, money, sleep, discipline, faith, emotional control, and rebuilding your identity. Train your body even if your mind is heavy. Clean your room even if your emotions feel messy. Fix your sleep because tired men make weak decisions. Eat properly because heartbreak drains your focus. Walk when anxiety hits. Write what you want to send, but do not send it. Put your phone away before midnight. Build your day before your emotions build it for you. This is not about pretending you do not care. It is about proving that her silence does not own you. Every time you do not chase, you rebuild self trust. Every time you do not check, you rebuild peace. Every time you do not send a fear based message, you rebuild dignity. Every time you choose your routine while hurting, you become stronger. Confidence is not built by saying, I am confident. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. You said you would not chase. Do not chase. You said you would not check. Do not check. You said you would not beg. Do not beg. That is how a man becomes solid. And a solid man carries a different energy. He is not waiting by the phone like his whole identity is trapped inside one notification. He is not emotionally shaking because she is quiet. He is not begging for proof that he matters. He is not making one woman's silence the center of his life. He has direction. Directed is powerful. A man with direction does not orbit around a woman's uncertainty. He keeps moving. He has things to build. He has a body to strengthen. He has money to earn. He has skills to improve. He has standards to protect. And when a woman feels that you have direction, she feels that your attention is not cheap. That matters because attention without boundaries loses value. If she can ignore you and still receive your full emotional energy, then your attention has no boundary. If she can pull away and still know you are waiting, then your presence has no consequence. If she can give less and you give more, then your effort becomes something she does not have to earn. Stop making your effort automatic. A woman should not have to beg for your attention, but she should not receive full emotional access while giving low effort either. Balance, be warm but not desperate, be open but not needy, be patient but not passive, be understanding but not blind, be calm but not weak. That is the balance. Most men lose that balance when they feel ignored. They swing between extremes. First they chase, then they get angry. First they beg, then they act cold. First they overgive, then they try to punish. First they worship her, then they insult her. That is not masculine strength. That is emotional instability. A strong man does not swing wildly because his ego got hurt. He stays centered. He can say, I notice the distance, but I will not chase it. He can say, I care, but I will not beg. He can say, I am open to communication, but I am not available for confusion. And sometimes he says nothing at all. He simply steps back. Now, what if she reaches out after ignoring you? This is where you must stay sharp. She may send a small message. She may act like nothing happened. She may say, hey. She may ask a random question. She may reply after days of silence. She may suddenly become warm again. Do not collapse. Do not punish her. Do not rush. Do not pour out your feelings. Do not say, where have you been? Do not immediately ask, are we okay? Do not act like you have been waiting by the phone. Stay calm. If she says, hey, you can say, hey, hope you're doing well. That is enough. Then observe. She bring real energy? Does she explain? Does she show consistency? Does she respect your pace? Does she communicate with clarity? Or does she only give you a little warmth to see if you are still available? A small signal is not a full return. A hey is not commitment. A reply is not respect. A warm moment is not change behavior. Watch the pattern. If she comes back with effort, you can meet effort with calm interest. If she comes back with vagueness, you do not chase clarity. If she comes back hot and cold, you do not become emotionally addicted to the warm parts. A man with self respect does not get drunk on inconsistent attention. He watches consistency because consistency reveals what emotion hides. Someone can miss you and still not be ready to treat you right. Someone can like your attention and still not respect your boundaries. Someone can come close when lonely and pull away when comfortable again. That is why you move slowly. A real return can handle patience, a fake return cannot. If she genuinely values you, she will not be scared by your calm pace. If she only wants emotional access, your boundaries may make her disappear again. Let that happen. You need truth more than temporary comfort because comfort can keep you trapped. Truth sets you free. Now, understand something important. Being ignored triggers your ego because it feels like a loss of control. You are not just missing her, you are also fighting the feeling of being unwanted. You are fighting the fear that she has power over you. You are fighting the shame of caring more than she seems to care. That is why you want to act. Not always because the relationship needs action, sometimes because your ego wants relief. A strong man can separate love from ego. Love says, I care about this connection. Ego says, I need her to reply so I feel valuable. Love wants clarity. Ego wants control. Love can step back with dignity. Ego needs to prove something. When she ignores you, do not let ego drive. Ego will make you send the angry message. Ego will make you post for attention. Ego will make you try to make her jealous. Ego will make you act like you do not care when you clearly do. Ego will make you insult her just to feel powerful. That is not strength. That is pain looking for a mask. Real strength does not need a mask. Real strength can say, "This hurts, but I will not act beneath myself." That is the line. This hurts, but I will not act beneath myself. Say it when you want to text. Say it when you want to check. Say it when you want to ask a friend. Say it when you want to post for her reaction. Say it when you want to become bitter. Because bitterness is not power. Bitterness is still attachment. If you hate her because she ignores you, she still owns emotional space inside you. If you become cold because she became cold, she still shaped you. If you lose your kindness because someone hurt you, you allowed pain to become your teacher. Do not let pain make you smaller. Let pain make you clearer. Clear about what you accept. Clear about what you do not chase. Clear about the kind of communication you need. Clear about your standards. A clear man is hard to manipulate because he is not starving for approval. He can care without begging. He can listen without surrendering. He can forgive without reopening the door. He can step back without hatred. That is maturity. Now, there is one more truth. Sometimes a woman ignores you because she wants to see whether you are solid. She wants to see if your confidence is real. She wants to see if you will chase. She wants to see if she still has emotional power over you. Sometimes it is conscious. Sometimes it is not. But the answer is still the same. Do not chase. Not because you are trying to win a test. Because you are not available for games. If she is testing your weakness, your calmness ends the test. If she is genuinely overwhelmed, your calmness gives space. If she is losing interest, your calmness protects your dignity. If she is immature, your calmness reveals it. In every case, calmness wins. Panic never wins. Chasing never wins. Begging never wins. Over explaining never wins. Because even if you get a reply through pressure, you have not created respect. You have only forced a reaction, and a reaction is not the same as desire. Remember that a reply is not always respect. A conversation is not always connection. A return is not always love. You need to watch the quality, not just the contact. If she returns but brings confusion, do not celebrate. If she responds but stays inconsistent, do not call that progress. If she gives attention only when she feels lonely, do not call that love. A grounded man wants truth, not crumbs. Now, if she keeps ignoring you, you must accept the possibility that her silence is the answer. This will hurt, but it will also free you. Some people do not give closure with words, they give closure with behavior. If she repeatedly ignores you, avoids clarity, gives low effort, and makes you feel like you are chasing basic communication, then you may already have the answer. You do not need to keep asking. Her pattern is speaking. Listen. A man with self respect does not keep knocking on a door where basic respect is missing. He steps back, not with hatred. With clarity, he can say to himself, I cared, but I will not chase someone who keeps showing me silence. That sentence is strength. It might hurt at first. It might feel like losing. It might feel like if you stop trying, everything ends. But maybe what ends is not love. Maybe what ends is your self betrayal. Maybe what ends is the cycle where she ignores and you lose yourself. Maybe what ends is your addiction to being chosen by someone unsure. Sometimes the thing you call loss is actually the beginning of self respect. Do not fear that. Because if your connection dies the moment you stop chasing, then it was being kept alive by your fear, not mutual effort. That truth is painful, but it is better than living in confusion. You should not have to beg a connection to breathe. Love needs effort, yes, but it should not require one person to abandon himself while the other decides whether to care. That is imbalance, and imbalance destroys respect. So restore balance, step back when she steps back. Give space when she chooses distance. Stop over investing when effort is not mutual. Watch actions. Let behavior speak. That is not playing games. That is emotional maturity. Now, if she comes back and says, you stopped caring, do not rush to overprove. You can say, I did not stop caring. I stopped chasing confusion. That is powerful. If she says, why did you go quiet? You can say, because the energy changed and I respect myself enough not to force communication. That is clear. If she says, I thought you would fight for me, you can say, I will fight for a relationship where respect is mutual. I will not fight against someone's silence. That is a man with standards. You do not need to be rude. You do not need to be dramatic. You do not need to sound angry. You simply speak from your center. and then you watch what she does with that clarity. A mature woman will respect it. An immature one may get offended because she expected the old version of you. Let that be information. Do not fear information. Fear staying blind because you want the fantasy. Now, the title says if she truly loves you, she will ignore you. But the full truth is deeper. If she truly has feelings but is afraid, confused, or overwhelmed, she may pull away. Your job is not to chase that fear. Your job is to remain grounded enough for truth to reveal itself. If the love is real, it will move toward respect. If the connection is healthy, it will move toward clarity. If she values you, she will not expect you to beg forever. If she only wants attention, your boundaries will expose it. That is why you step back, not to lose her. To stop losing yourself, because the biggest danger when a woman ignores you is not that she leaves. The biggest danger is that you abandon your own dignity trying to make her stay. Do not do that. You have to live with yourself after this moment. You will remember how you handled it. You will remember if you begged. You will remember if you stalked. You will remember if you kept checking. You will remember if you posted for attention. You will remember if you became bitter. Or you will remember that even while it hurt, you stood tall, you chose discipline, you chose calm, you chose self respect, you chose your future. That memory matters. So tonight, when the urge comes, do not text from panic. Do not check from anxiety. Do not post from insecurity. Do not ask around from fear. Put the phone down, stand up, drink water, walk, train, pray, work, set, leap, build. Do one thing that makes tomorrow better. Because discipline is how a man tells heartbreak, you can hurt me, but you cannot lead me. That is the man she remembers. Not the man who begged, not the man who folded, not the man who chased every silence. The man who hurt, but stayed composed. The man who cared, but did not abandon himself. The man who wanted her, but did not make her reply the measure of his worth. The man who turned silence into strength, pain into standards, and distance into direction. That man is hard to ignore. That man is hard to replace. That man is free. So remember this. If she ignores you, do not immediately assume love. Do not immediately assume hate. Do not immediately assume loss. Let the pattern reveal the truth. Stay calm. Step back. Protect your peace. Stop chasing. Rebuild your life. Watch actions. If she returns with clarity, listen slowly. If she returns with confusion, step back again. If she never returns, keep walking, because your life cannot depend on someone else's silence. It must be built on your own direction. And in the next video, you will learn the exact signs she is starting to miss you, but is too proud to admit it, and how to handle her return without losing the power you worked so hard to build.